Hello GFU class. First, I'd like to thank Chris for allowing me to finish the program in Chicago, and I couldn't have done it without the technical assistance of John and Matt. Thank you guys. I appreciate you being my eyes and ears. So now to the task at hand. I wrote my Crucibles paper about two very personal experiences. My Cliff Notes version are as follows. So my parents had divorced when I was a young kid, and my mother, who I lived with, became a foster parent in my adolescent years. During that time, it was about 6 or 7 years in total, she devoted all of her spare time to these children. I became resentful of not only the foster kids, but I became very resentful of my mother. I had that entitlement feeling that she had chosen these children over me. When I went to college, I carried those feelings with me throughout college, and I took emotionally, financially, whatever I could from my mother. I became very disrespectful, and I felt that she owed me. After college, my mother lost her job due to a disability, and I was now in my early 20s supporting an entire household. I had a mortgage, I had house repairs, and I could not make ends meet. I also shared the home with my mother, who I still bore these resentful feelings towards. So realizing several years into this arrangement that I was allowing these feelings to hold me back from growing, looking at her every day reminded me of the situation that I was in. I made a choice. My mother had given her life to other people, so much so that she was broke, that she was in the worst health of her life. She was nearly homeless. And I wasn't going to carry these same life burdens with me. I moved out. Growing up, I was not held accountable for my actions. We did not communicate effectively about any emotional topics. And I realized that accountability and communication are my life lessons. And in my personal and professional growth, those are the foundation of how I'm going to be successful. For years, I had wasted time and energy trying to control uncontrollable events in my life. I was behaving like someone who is a victim of their circumstances rather than looking to a solution and making it happen for myself. It wasn't until I met my current spouse did I truly face those areas of accountability and communication as deep as I went. Ever since I met my spouse, I have been tested and forced to use accountability and communication in our relationship. And even though it was difficult, I had to get through it because he meant so much to me. I used to project the problems that we had in our relationship as his issue. It's not mine. Rather than viewing these perceived miscommunications that we had as my lack thereof. I had no trouble blaming my environment, our cultural differences, anything to redirect accountability. Once I was finally in a corner of no more excuses, could I see that I was the problem, and it was not only affecting my personal life, but it was also, I did not respond well to correction in my professional life. I took it personal rather than understanding that the corrections were needed to be a better person, be a better employee. So these painful experiences have allowed me to reframe them as tools for improvement. I have been able to remove emotional feelings and see that the arguments and the fights have contributed to my growth and communication with others. Even though these experiences are tough to accept, I wouldn't change them at all because they wouldn't have made me the person that I am today. So thank you guys, and I'll see you later.